So one of the things that is nice about our season being over is that my body gets to rest a little bit, because definitely being out there practicing with them all the time was making my body, my legs, everything hurt. So one of the things I had to do was go get massages all the time. I think that brings up an interesting topic, because we got a quarterback in the National Football League right now who's in quite the controversy.
It's not funny.
Over some massages and maybe the behaviors that he was portraying during those massages. I think it's a good thing to touch on.
Allegedly.
Touch on. Good thing for us to touch on.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Wait. Is Coach likening himself
No.
to Deshaun Watson?
I mean, they both have to get massages.
Right.
That's where the likening stops. Okay, so we're gonna go. First off, we're gonna go around this table and say if we think that this is a real thing or if this is made up to try to bring this black man down. And we're gonna start with Esquire.
Why you look at Dolo? I think that there is a real issue there. Where Deshaun Watson may have some issues in controlling himself in massage therapist rooms. But, I'm not about to sit here and condemn the man, cancel him, whatever you want to call it, tell him he should be out the league. But at the same time, I think, the article that Sports Illustrated did where the woman who did not sign up with the lawyer who had brought a majority of the suits, and was actually, it seemed like, still trying to decide on whether she wanted to even sue, gave a pretty detailed description of what she encountered. And while she said it wasn't criminal conduct, it did sound like it was pretty degrading and harassing. To the point where she had to tell him to calm down. From his thrusting,
excited, huh?
His thrusting in the air.
You really think he thrusted in the air?
Yes.
Absolutely.
How do you make that up?
Absolutely.
Easy. A white man sits her down and says, "Look, you gonna say this about this nigga?" What you mean? How you make
got
that
in
up?
there and he realized that she wasn't touching it, and so he started thrusting, trying to force her.
It's not even realistic.
And then said, "You can move it if you want to."
I think it's not
It's
realistic.
not even realistic
It's-
for a creep, let alone
Oh my God.
Deshaun Watson.
Doc, give us the
Like-
female perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think?
I think it's very easy to blur that line. I'm sure that there were. So I read the article as well, and what I got from it was, one, she was not someone he directly recruited. It sounded like most of the other massage therapists that he recruited were from like Instagram. So I have like this very vivid picture of what those massage therapists probably looked like, and probably the tone of the conversation he had with those massage therapists. This one from the article, however, she was kind of booked through a mutual, massage therapist who was not available for Deshaun Watson. So I believe that in that case, he probably thought she was down for the get down, and she was not really there for that, but he assumed she was because of whoever referred her. So I think that her doing the article, not being a part of the suit, did provide a little credibility. I think that he was probably doing some creep-like stuff, but I don't know necessarily if it was criminal. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, but I think it's totally inappropriate, and it sounded like sexual harassment. I don't think he forced himself on anyone physically. It didn't sound like any of them were alleging that, but his behaviors were definitely inappropriate.
Dolo?
I mean, I just think the timing of everything makes me question just everything that comes out about it. The fact that all this came out right after he requested the trade. I mean, at the same time, you don't want to just silence accusers or victims of sexual assault or sexual harassment and all that. You want to take accusations serious, but at the same time, you just never know what's really real out here, especially when it comes to prominent black men in a good old boys game. Like we know the type of people that run the NFL and how the demographic of the NFL owners, and you know what I mean.
Why would the Texans want to sabotage their own asset, which Deshaun Watson is? Because like if you trade him, I mean, if you want to trade him, if you have to trade him, he's damaged goods now. If he gets suspended, he's not playing for y'all because of this. So why would they want to blow a spot up like that?
But maybe they're trying to force him to have to stay with the organization or to fall in line.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
but-
like to me. Because at the end of the day, it sounds like they just don't want him to leave. I agree with you in regards to the timing, but I think that they probably have just been keeping a lot of this squashed because he was their guy. And then when he decided to step out of line, they're like, well, now we about to get you back in line, boy.
I feel like this conduct though has the potential to like get him as a black quarterback like disqualified or suspended for like a season, you know, like or like multiple games.
You think
that
so?
could
Even
derail-
without any like legitimate actual charge, like if it's not like he didn't actually assault anybody, but it was just you know what I'm saying, inappropriate
Yeah.
behavior. I think he might,
He'll get
he
something.
might get a little suspension, but I mean he'll be back.
I mean,
No other team may want to touch him though.
yeah. I mean, he did hire what's his name, Rusty. So,
I don't know. It's just some of the stories that come out just don't seem realistic for. I mean, he could be a sick dude. He could have some real issues, some real self-control issues, some real, you know what I mean? He could have some issues there, but
The
just
thrusting in the air.
thrusting in the air
I mean, it won't be the first time an NFL player like got
has been
caught doing
nasty.
some
You're
crazy
right.
Professional
stuff.
athlete in
You're
general.
not lying.
Yeah, they do
Not
take
lying.
a lot of
Who
brain
was it? Like
damage.
Darren Sharper, right?
Yeah,
Kellen Winslow. What's the
You got a good memory.
Yeah. Nah, that's facts.
So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As more time is going on and more info has come out, it
Looks worse.
Looks a lot worse for him.
yeah.
Especially the more that he admits to, like admitting that he had consensual encounters. The fact that he found all these Instagram or all these massage therapists on Instagram. You're a professional
That's weird.
athlete and you can't find massage therapists on anywhere else from Instagram. So I don't know. I don't believe he forced himself upon anyone. I believe he propositioned them all, maybe. But I also feel like there's something fishy there. Like for all these women to come out at once, like at this time.
I do feel like it's weird to be flying out multiple different massage therapists. Like that in itself is a red flag. Like usually
That shows a lack of self control
is,
for
it
sure.
is.
Like that shows a lack of self control. He's definitely guilty of that, regardless.
like a serious athlete that needs who's like I need a massage therapist. Like they usually have like their people.
Well, you find-
Obviously, we
yeah.
know what was on his mind when you flying out massage therapists off of Instagram.
Yeah, that I don't think
Like
there's
we don't have to
sliding in the DMs
we
for
don't
a
have to sugarcoat
massage.
that. You know,
but there's not. I mean, that's not illegal.
that's not illegal.
No, it's
For
not.
sure, it's not illegal.
Yeah, I
Inappropriate, maybe.
I would kind of
Depending on the massage therapist.
right. I would kind of go with you, Dolo, as far as like the timing of it is definitely suspect, and I think I think they probably did target him a little bit in this scenario where he was not being a good soldier for them anymore, and they probably knew about some of this stuff, and then they either stopped actively keeping it under the rug or encouraged people to
Leaked
bring
it.
it out a little bit, because I think what it does is if you know he's a good football player, so you want him to play for you. You don't want him to play for anybody else, so you devalue the asset.
Right.
Even if it hurts you in a point, I feel like you feel like even if he gets suspended, he has nowhere else to go, so he has to come back and play for you and be your quarterback. But at the same time, I think he's got probably has some issues that he needs to work out as far as self-control and maybe discernment and things like that, because a lot of that behavior, I mean, if 20 people say something about you, something's going on.
Looking a
Now,
little
10 of
fishy.
them probably lying, but there's still 10 that probably you did
20
something.
people can lie on a person.
20 people can.
20 people can be
but
rounded up to lie on a person.
It's
I'm
all,
not,
I think
you know
it's
what I
all
mean?
relative too, right? Because if you have 1,000 massage therapists and there are only 20 of them that come out and say something, then that's a minor percentage of massage therapists who have something to say.
He should not have 1,000.
But I mean, no, fair. But I mean,
Hypothetically,
but
you know.
yeah,
No, I'm just playing.
hypothetically speaking, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with having 1,000. I mean, honestly, if you have a massage therapist and they consensually want to have sex with you, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's their
as long
prerogative.
as they are cool with it or whatever. I mean, they should stop prosecuting sex workers, by the way, anyway. So like,
Throw that in there.
that might be a new topic for the pod.
That's
So
facts.
just Amsterdam everywhere.
It's a
huh?
victimless
Just
crime.
Let it just be.
for sure.
Everybody wins.
It's a public health crisis. I'm just playing. I really don't care.
Well, so Esquire, last thing on that. What would be, so say what kind of criminal charges would be in this scenario, or do you see any, or is this more of a civil case, you think?
It sounds like it's more of a civil case as of now, but I mean, if you touch someone inappropriately for sexual purposes, like that can be a sexual assault. It doesn't have to be like actual intercourse or actual rape or anything like that. There are laws that they have on the books for that. So, I mean, it could be, but I think, like the article, the Sports Illustrated article, she made very clear that she didn't think that there was anything like criminal that occurred or that he like sexually assaulted her, but she thought he was very inappropriate. So
if nothing criminal occurred, why wait till now to come out with this story? Why wait till now to say something?
I think she explained in the story that she was like hesitant to come out, and I think she eventually, because even the lawyer, and that's what I think, even going back to the timing thing, the lawyer for the women might have seen an opportune time to bring this out now that he was at odds with his organization and stuff, because they were negotiating settlement or like some type of payoff, and I think the number that they wanted, Deshaun was like, nah, like I'm a pass. So I mean, I think there's a number of reasons, that's why I'm hesitant to just throw him under the bus like that too, without like having a full on like vetting of the situation through a court of law. And I think that's why Deshaun should be entitled to have his day in court, civil or whatever, so that, people can be cross-examined and people's motives and things like that can be discovered as well. So, I'm not about to just throw the black man under.
I mean, it just seems like someone would have gone to the police at some point rather than just all this just coming out.
Yeah.
Right after he requests a trade, like it's just weird.
I do think that there is a criminal investigation going on though.
Probably now, yeah.
Yeah, there is now, but yeah, I mean,
I think, but right, if they don't have enough like evidence, even if something criminal did occur, but maybe they don't have enough like to back up the case in itself, then
right.
Isn't that sometimes why people go the civil route too?
Correct.
Like then you have to pay some type of,
because the burden of proof in a criminal case is the standard is much higher than in a civil case. Beyond a reasonable doubt in the criminal, it's only a preponderance of the case, so more likely than not in a civil case. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think with Deshaun Watson, more information is gonna have to come out, and
for sure.
Right now, we don't want to rush to judgment on it. The jury's still out. Tough situation. We'll see how it goes.
stop being a creep.